I'm glad Andy's here because he would be a great help. Hello. We are live. No one's even here. I gotta change lanes because I'm behind. A lot of times I'll be behind a truck and I won't even realize it until I look at my speed limit and I'm like, oh, I should be going faster because this assisted driving thing is kind of making me retarded, really. I'm not realizing I'm going as slow as I'm going. But thank you for being here, Andy. If you're still here, that is because we'll see. We'll see. I don't know how this is gonna work out on this drive because I'm in Austria right now, and the mountains be mountaining, and I don't like how they look at night, especially because they don't have lights here, and it's creepy. Like, don't get me wrong, like I love driving through it. Like the other day, a week ago, but it was daytime, so it's beautiful. Mountains at night are scary. Okay, I know this because I drove through a lot of mountains. Not a lot of mountains, but like I used to drive from Atlanta to Chicago all the time, and Chicago back, and I would have to drive through mountains. And did I? Was it where I lived somewhere else in the south? I don't even remember anymore. Where Tennessee? Were they mountains? To Georgia, what I'd have to go through? I had to go through Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then Georgia. Maybe there weren't that many mountains there, now that I think of it. But anyways, there was a lot of mountains on the other place I lived. You know, in the south, but like somewhere else. I already have said that. I already said where I used to live. I can't remember America were this creepy. No, they were definitely less creepy. These mountains are bigger, creepier. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's definitely mountains in West Virginia when I used to drive that way. I can't remember those mountains when I used to drive from Georgia to Chicago. I'm assuming yes. I swear my ADHD was better up until the second because I just had a very stressful moment with my mom. So, because I told her, Mom, if you leave the spot, the Uber can't find you. You can't leave the spot. You cannot leave the spot. Guess what she did? She decided she's going to take the train last second. I'm like, great. That doesn't mean I didn't pay for the Uber. So I didn't like freak out really. I just got a little bit upset. And then my brother felt bad because he's like, I told her to move. And he sent me money for the Uber, which is super sweet of him. Hi, number two with fries. What are you doing here, buddy? You're my favorite troll. You remind me of Cousin, kind of. You should teach Cousin. Thank you for being here today. Speaking of which, you are Mexican, are you not? I could be wrong about this. my buddy Cuzin, I don't know if you know who he is. He has an identity crisis. After I listened to his live stream, at first I listened to half of it and then I listened to the other half. And I have to say, my buddy Cuzin is very, very confused. Very confused. Because when I watched the first half, he's talking about how, well, I don't remember which half was which, but in one half he's talking about how people hate him because he's not white. How people hate him because he's brown. How people look at him in the store and just think of him as a wetback. I personally think they just look at him and think, what a fat ass, you know? But that's just me. Like, I wouldn't judge someone based on their race. I would judge someone based on their size. Because I'm in America. You know, we're a melting pot. But we judge each other for being fat, even though we have McDonald's on every corner. Okay? So anyways, I don't think, how does he know that? You live in California. There's a lot of Mexicans in California. I don't think they're judging you for being Mexican. Really. It's not, and they act like you live in, never mind. It's not like you're walking through like these rich ass white neighborhoods, okay? You're literally fucking in Fresno. Who the fuck is judging you for being Mexican? Nobody. Absolutely fucking nobody. They're probably judging you for being fat, okay? I would guess. Like, if we just went on based off of looks. Short, not really. There's a lot of short people. Anyways, so in the first half, in one half, he's talking about how people hate him because he's a, you know, they just look at him like he's a wetbag Mexican, blah, blah. And then in the other half, I think the first half, he's like, but people judge me because I don't speak Spanish. And because I'm not like, I don't eat enough burritos. And I'm like, then, see, he's very confused. He's a very confused individual, you know? He doesn't know whether he's white. He thinks he looks in the mirror and sees a Mexican. Then, you know, he spent his whole childhood eating meatloaf and mashed potatoes and never a tortilla. You know, never. His Mexican friends are taking tacos to lunch, and you know he was taking a fucking peanut butter and jelly to lunch. So he's very confused. Very confused. He doesn't know that he's not white because he doesn't look white, but he knows. But on the inside, he's white. He's like an Oreo. He's more like a nutter. He's more like a. What are those golden Oreos called? They're like, you know, those grandma cookies, you know, a little brown and tan on the outside, but all white, just straight up white on the inside, straight white. Lydia, I'm straight wetback, straight from the streets of Mexico. If I can make it, anyone, I know, yeah, and you definitely have made it because guess what? That's another thing Cuzin doesn't relate to with Mexican people is working hard. So you've made it, yes. I feel like I was raised with more Mexican culture than my buddy Cuzin because you know, like I don't know if you know this, but like Polish people and Mexicans in Chicago really do go hand in hand, right? A lot of no, okay, this is gonna sound really bad when I say the first part, but and they might not all be right, but a lot of illegals back in the day at least that would wait and do construction together. Like that is how I know. Like all my uncles worked with a lot of Mexicans, you know. Um, a hard work ethic, you know. Apparently his like fucking mom is. That's how you know she's white. And like the misc tells me like in California, a lot of Mexicans are fucking pescatarian, whatever the fuck. That's a fish eater. What was I gonna say? The p word, pension. The ones where they talk in tongues, you know. I'm like not in Chicago. Mexican and Polish people go to the same Catholic churches. So I feel like I have more Mexican culture than Cuzin growing up where I did in my schools. I would say what it's like growing up going to a Chicago public school in my neighborhood. It was like 33% just straight up Cuzin white, like fucking peanut butter and jelly white American. 33% Polish and 33% Mexican. That was the split in my school. So still more white people, but you know, at least some of them from Polish. Okay. And the other ones like were like Cuzin. Okay, he fucking took peanut butter and jelly. Cisco, how much you want to bet? And that's another thing he doesn't have in common. Yeah, work ethic, working hard, breaking a sweat, waiting at Home Depot for them, getting for them to pick you up. All right, Pentecostal. Yeah. Lydia is another very, very Mexican name with the I, not the Y. My hotel just messaged me to miss because they're like, do you want a room for this price if you're still interested? And I'm like, but I just paid for the price that was higher. What? I guess I'm still interested. And then tomorrow when I check out, I think because that's when you actually pay. No, I think for super you pay I think you pay before though. Whatever, pisses me off. I might just get 2 nights here because it kind of annoys me that I have to go a little bit further out now. I thought it was going to be closer. It really isn't, I guess, in the end. But whatever. Yeah, Pentecostal. No fucking Mexicans are Pentecostal in Chicago. Give me a break. I think like churches have like Spanish mass, Polish mass, and some of them Filipino mass. Tagalog, whatever the fuck. So my buddy cousin's very confused about his Mexican heritage. He feels judged for being Mexican. At the same time, he knows he's not Mexican at all. He's like, why? I dare you to approach a gang member like a bulldog or a norteño and tell them they're not Mexican. But the difference is they're Mexican. The difference is they're Mexican. They grew up Mexican. Okay, cousin? That's the difference. Up in a peanut butter and jelly fucking frozen pizza rolls and what else is something that's really American, like American food? What is an American food? No fucking green bean casserole like you did, you know, cousin? He's very confused. And then he's like, I talk the way I do because I'm Mexican. And then in the second fucking half, he's like, I don't speak Spanish. And I'm like, well, that makes no sense. And how can you can't claim both? You can't claim you don't know English because you're Mexican. And then you can't claim fuck people for judging you for not speaking Spanish. It's very confusing. I'm still 3 hours away. This is crazy. My mom pissed me off with this Uber shit. Then she ended up taking the fucking train. Hi, Red Pill. How are you? What time is it in America? I always ask you this, but I just saw you. I left my uncle a lot of mean messages because my mom's phone's off. I spent like half an hour in Poland putting a baby monitor on her, whatever it's called. Not Life 360. It's just Google. Whatever, Google monitor on her. I made sure I'm like, Mom, you're gonna get an Uber text message. Show you the link. They're gonna show you where you're at. And then that bitch has her fucking phone turned off. So I'm a little annoyed. Not gonna lie. But what should I get from Italy as souvenirs? Like, I guess my brother and I have no clue. I kind of have an idea what I would get you, but I'm saying I don't mind it. I don't mind Um, so I'm currently in a tunnel, and I think that's part of the problem. You know, I'm in a fucking tunnel. Do you hear me? Is my internet working? I have two internets. Hi, PDX. How are you? I miss you so much. We need to revive the YouTube communities. Hold on, I'm still in a tunnel. I'm still in a tunnel. I'm still in a tunnel. Austria loves tunnels. Really? I'm better and I'm fucking in a tunnel? How many pull-ups does it take to walk? I'm in a tunnel! I would have you come up, but I don't think I can do that right now. I'm trying my best. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me get out of this tunnel. I swear I'm still in a tunnel. This must be one of the biggest mountains in Austria. One time I was in a tunnel in I forgot what country it was. What tunnel was that? It was in a really long tunnel. Were we in a tunnel in Hawaii? No, there was another long tunnel. Fuck, I forgot. I think West Virginia has two tunnels to their mountains too. But no, my mom's pissing me off because she made me get her. She wanted me to get her an Uber from the airport. I said okay. She said I'm at five E whatever it is international, obviously. I was like okay. I'm like I look at my Uber app and it says there is no 5D. They got to pick you up from 2D because I think Uber drivers only go to 2, and I think Lyft drivers only go to Terminal 3. So I was like, whatever. I was like, I'll tell the Uber driver or whatever. We'll figure it out. You'll go to Terminal 2. Anyway, she dumbass has her phone off. My uncle has his phone off. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Uber driver is coming. I canceled it. Whatever. I start bitching. My brother sends me $20. Now my mom wants me. Now she made it to Terminal 2, and she wants me to order her an Uber. And I said, absolutely fucking not. Get your ass on that blue line, and I'll order you an Uber from the Cumberland Blue Line stop. So we'll see what happens next. My brother's currently babysitting, and I shouldn't say babysitting. He's a dad. He's currently with two little babies, so he can't really go pick them up. But we'll see. This is a fucking long. I'm still in the tunnel. Chesapeake Tunnel. Oh, yeah, yeah. I have a question. Do some of the New York trains go underwater? Because I feel like one of the trains that we went on, I don't want to say I felt like it didn't feel like I was underwater. It just like didn't make sense how else the train got to like where were we going to Queens or something? I was like, well, how did the train get here? I'm a little confused. Like through the waters or what? How did it get here? I think we went from Brooklyn. I don't remember what train it was. It was from Brooklyn to the airport. So JFK. Or was it somewhere else? I don't remember. It goes through the water, Gina? Seriously? How? How is this possible? That is amazing. I'm still in a tunnel, by the way. Apparently, it's a pretty good tunnel if they have internet. Holy fuck. I need to find out what this tunnel is. Let me tell you guys so that I remind myself later. It's to Graz. Graz. I know that's another big city here. Okay, I'm finally out of the tunnel. Jesus Christ. Watch, now my internet will fuck up. Gina, how else can we make Cousin feel okay with being a dark white person? Because there's a lot of people. He just feel like how about we do this? Cousin, start saying gym tan laundry. Start saying you go to the LA tan, and then there you go. There you go. The Holland Tunnel. Whoa, that's crazy. So wait, but do New York tunnels really go underwater? And then why did I know that? Like, why didn't I think that it was just like a tunnel somewhere else? I don't remember. Because it was underground, right? So I was like, did it go above ground at any point? Do New York trains, do any of them go above ground or no? Chicago's are like half and half. Demisk is scared of taking public trains in Chicago. I'm like, you don't understand. The Blue Line's very, very safe, especially our side of the Blue Line. It's in New Orleans. Oh, interesting. Was it haunted? Yeah, white people are okay, cousin. I mean, listen, I can imagine though, because I'm thinking about like these like Polish people, like these adopted, like, because sometimes once in a while, very rarely though, a Polish person will adopt a different race of kid, or have like a half kid, like a half black kid or something, and that's probably what cousin feels like. He feels like he's like brown, but he was adopted by these white people, right? He ate mashed potatoes and meatloaf and fucking green bean casserole and hash brown casserole and a lot of casseroles. Really, he ate a lot of casseroles growing up, and he's a very very white. He ate a lot of spaghetti, but not like the Italian kind, just like the shitty American kind. He ate a lot of hamburger helper growing up. And so he doesn't really feel Mexican, but he feels judged all the time. And I'm like, listen, they're probably judging you because you're fat, like I said. Oh, that's interesting. Hey, PDX, what do you think about what happened to I Am Dina's channel? Cousin told you his Mexican dishes. That makes sense. That makes sense. I just couldn't imagine like these Chinese kids that are adopted, because of that, like back in the day, a lot of people adopted Chinese kids. They can't even pronounce like their dishes. Like cousin can't pronounce a lot of these Mexican words. Must be a weird feeling for sure. He has a big identity crisis. I am Dina's in the hospital, PDX. I don't know if you and her get along or not. Dina, Dina, the one that took Evil Abe to court, the one that took a woman who had an extra chromosome to court, the one that spends a lot of money on taking YouTubers to court, has a GoFundMe now. Dina's channel's gone. I don't know, but Jake said she had a heart attack. Yeah, she loves spending a lot of money on taking someone to court who said he's going to rape her daughter 5 years ago, but doesn't leave his house like Joe. But but well, Wes, how do you think it feels like to listen to your fucking typing? How do you think it feels like to have a conversation with you when you can't even understand a humor at all? I don't mean humor, but like it'll be like the most basic thing I'll say. Like I'll literally say like I decided not to go to Mexico. I decided to go to Cancun instead, like Fox suggested. Like obviously that's me poking fun at Fox not knowing that Cancun's in Mexico. And automatic, you are fucking autism level 5,000. You take everything seriously because you're retarded. That's what retarded people do. Even cousin, as stupid as he is, he understands jokes. He understands when I have double meanings to things. You are full blown. I mean, that's why cousin owns you. That's why you were one of cousin's retards. I mean, imagine being in the ranks of Nuzdar and Roscoe, Wes. That's pretty bad. And you also failed, unlike those two. Those two are still soldiers of cousins, through and through. Yeah, PDX, she took down her GoFundMe. It's just weird because she's like talking about karma. I just think it's so weird when people talk about karma after something bad happened to them. It's like, but like people are commenting on it because they think that you got your karma. Do you not realize that? Oh, you're gonna get your karma for talking about me being in the hospital. Well, then what is the hospital for you? Is that your karma? But you know what's weird, PDX? Earlier I was very scatterbrained. It was actually dangerous for me to drive earlier. I did take Vyvanse though later. It was like my last one that I did. I didn't take all of them with me because I kind of wanted a little bit of a break from it. But I actually, this time I do notice a little difference. Oh, you know Damask, of course. She is yelling at me. Have you guys ever had something? And I only know this because of Damask. And when he told me about this, I thought he made it up. It's called Mezzo Mix. Apparently, it's half Coke, half Fanta. But I'm assuming it's more. Oh, it is. I was gonna say it's probably like fake cola, but then I looked at the back, and it actually is made by Coca-Cola Company. So it'd be kind of weird if they didn't use Coca-Cola, huh? Coca. It says cola and orange drink. I cannot pronounce that word. PDX, how does it feel like to know that if it wasn't for your husband, maybe our community wouldn't have died, huh? Because I have a question. If you struck Steve, if you never got Steve struck, would his channel still be up? I feel like Steve has too much fun in the lol cow community, though. That's probably why he's not coming back, because I see him in chats all the time. Listen, PDX is an empath, okay? Not the type of empath that Pam is, though. She can feel people's energies and their spirits, okay? It's not like Pam where she just, like, makes everything about herself. It's a different kind of empathy. God damn, my uncle called me a lot of times. And it says that, let's just say his name is, let's say his name was Adam. It says Adam and Adam left me a voicemail. How does that make sense? Oh, yeah. Oh, he posts a lot about it on Twitter. Interesting. That shit's funny, but Tina pisses me off there too. She's just such a weirdo liar. She literally, this is how weird Tina is, PDX. I don't know if you and Tina get along these days or not, but because she felt bad that everyone thought her son was gay and an incel, they came up with a genius plan, and broke. They came up with a genius plan to fake a girlfriend that turned into faking a miscarriage, that turned into faking an ectopic, that turned into quitting because people called them out for faking it. It was the weirdest shit ever. I'm like, you guys, listen. Retards need to realize, like Cuzin, he knows he's stupid, at least. But some retards don't know they're retarded, and they lie. Like Wes, they just lie about retarded shit and don't know they're lying. They don't know that everyone else knows they're lying, but them. She hates me. Yes, PDX. And listen. And then Steve pissed me off because I know he was trolling me when he did this, but he's like, Lydia, I know you're a troll, but like, have a heart. This actually did happen. No, it didn't happen. First of all, no one believes that fucking Albert is capable of having a 30-year-old girlfriend that had a kid. Okay. And cause like in the same and then she'll like make fun of some other guy because there's like this other like 30-year-old guy that hooked up with a 40-year-old chick on Discord. She's like making fun of him for doing that, but it's like your son has a girlfriend that's supposedly 10 years older. Okay, and then she's like, I was so happy about this baby. I got the ultrasounds. I saw the beautiful like baby, blah blah. And then I was picking out whatever furniture for it. And then she doesn't realize that like ectopic and miscarriage are kind of two different things. So then they're like, oh, it was an ectopic, and then they made up discharge paperwork from ChatGPT. That was like, oh, she basically took a pill to get rid of an ectopic. Because an ectopic is when like a baby's growing in the wrong spot, right? So it's usually very, very small. There's no fucking ultrasound pictures, okay? Because there's no ultrasound pictures because the baby's not growing where it should be. So they would have to terminate it right away, or the mom can die, right? So, anyways, and then Mike Green, who's also weirdo big liar, was like, "Oh, Tina was so happy. Like, she was buying cribs and stuff. She was so happy to be a grandmother. And then the fucking next stream, Tina's like, I didn't even know she had a I didn't even know she was pregnant until, like, she, like, was in the hospital for the emergency. Like, they're just such retarded liars. They just, like, fucking lie so much. It's kind of crazy. Stop lying. Jesus Christ, the Misk. My God. Like, and all that started from this and then they also told this other guy, they told him that he should fake a pregnancy for donations. And it's like, doesn't that all point to, like, one thing? You know how much Tina spends on DoorDash a month? $2,000. It's crazy. Yeah. And people are like, well, could it be grown? Because technically, like, yes, it could grow somewhere else it's not supposed to. But she just lied. And they literally made up these fake discharge paperwork. It looks like they copied and pasted into Word. That's how it looked like. And yes, like, the medical terminology was probably all correct or whatever. But, like, you can't really call an ectopic and a miscarriage the same thing because it's like you're inducing a miscarriage. Yes, kind of. But, like, still. There wouldn't be any fucking ultrasound pictures, Tina fucking retard. I literally posted all, like, this, the proof of why it wouldn't be true what she's saying. Like, yeah, she's retarded, like, but she's literally illiterate, so maybe she got some things wrong, but still. It's pretty. And then they quit. They quit the community because they got called out too many times. Oh no, PDX. I haven't liked her since day one, and I've known her since 2017. This is the funny thing too. Like, she'll say that I stalk her because I'm in a chat. I'm like, Tina, just because you come onto every panel doesn't mean I'm stalking you, okay? Second of all, if I'm stalking you, how did I get here after Amberlyn Reed fat ass did? Because I watched Amberlyn Reed for a decade. I started watching the lolcow stuff because of her. I'm like, if I've been stalking you, then how the fuck did I get here 2 years after you started? I must be the worst stalker in the world. Second of all, I met her in 2017, 2016. But then, like, we didn't really, like, interact until she came into the fucking Boy and started e-begging for fucking stoves and fucking remodel. She used to say at like 3 a.m. Yeah, man, I got this crackhead over here painting the trailer. I got this crackhead over here, putting in new floors, putting in a new stove. Well, she cams up a lot in her fucking trailer with her rats. Remodels where? You came. I only started interacting with you again after 2017 because you came into my community to scam my community. Exactly, Spooky. Yeah, that's when I started watching the LCU. Was because she came in there. So I'm like stalking you. Then, like, people. I mean, some people love me for triggering her. Literally, even her co-host begged me to come back because I think we were on vacation, right? We were on the cruise, so I was, like, sleeping pretty late. I was watching Cat. Like, she was, like, on at 4 a.m. So then when we came back and I had my regular schedule, like, I obviously couldn't trigger her as much anymore. Um, but then her co-host, like, begged me in comments to come back. I was like, dude, I'm, like, at work, like, I can't. Like, it's not that I'm avoiding you. I'm avoiding her. It's just that I'm sleeping. Yes, we should, PDX. I would. Lydia told me she has a crush on Albert. Oh, I love his fucking 10-month pregnant belly. Not that Tina, JCB. It's a different Tina. You don't even know. And we were friends, but then I think she wanted to miss. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense with fucking that Tina. It really doesn't. I mean, she freaks out on a lot of people, and then everyone has to turn on them, or else they get her wrath. Like Andy and other people. Anyways, but no, it's a different Tina. I think she just maybe has, like, this like, femcel energy, and then if, like, I don't know, she got really upset at Gina and Senegal for flirting too. So I don't know. It's weird. Tina D, maybe. I don't know if the misc is black enough for her though. It's so weird too. Like, I know she's not racist, but you can kind of tell like she has like two mentalities. She has her half of hers like she loves BBC, but then the other half of her had like a dad who was racist and had a swastika tattoo, and called his grandson the N word. You know, so she's like very torn inside. It feels like. Because you know what she complains? This is another thing about Trinity. When she complains about like when she, because you know how she makes everything about herself, and I don't even know if I believe anything that she says. I don't know if she ever was DV'd. I feel like her fucking Amazon ass probably DV'd her husband, you know. But anyway, like I don't believe anything she says because everything she says is a lie. But she said that she was touched as a kid. I know it sounds really, really bad, but people did the math and they're like, well, then it's the dad that you lived with and took care of because that was her stepdad. And she's like, no, 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 because like, they're like, the other dad was in prison. She's like, no, no, he was able to come home on some weekends. And you fuck off, bullshit. So basically, you're admitting to like bringing your kid into the house of the man who supposedly did this gross thing to you, and then also bringing other kids into the house that you took care of or like babysat. Fuck off. Hi, Minnie. Like truly, like speaking of Dina and Karma, like look at Tina's rats and all that. That's, I mean, that's kind of more laziness than karma, I think, but still. And she has like this fucking kid in her house. Like, I understand that his real mom's like a piece of shit, but he's like 18, 20, whatever, how old. He should be living his life. Instead, he's fucking cleaning up these pigs' houses. Not her house, but the other guy's, Michael Green's house. You know, like fucking up all night watching, like to make sure she knows how to get on Discord because she's too fucking retarded to figure it out. She said she goes to college and she makes fun of me for like being in college forever. I'm like, I'm sorry you don't know the difference between undergraduate and graduate, even though you supposedly have a degree. What fucking degree? You're illiterate. You literally can't spell. Like, just fucking ridiculous. Have you seen her spell? I mean, her son who dropped out of the fifth grade can spell better than her. And she's supposedly, oh, I went to college. Yeah, bullshit. I'm not home yet, Minnie, actually. I'm still 2 hours and 54 minutes away from my hotel. I was supposed to get there at 1 a.m. But because of all this Uber bullshit I had to deal with my mom, a little late. Yeah, oh, don't get me started on that. She has apparently, she was told that she has a giant thing of Adderall. So she steals that one guy's prescription. And I'm sure that's where a lot of her money goes to, too, is Adderall. She apparently gave Keemstar some. I mean, that motherfucker needs it, though, but still. So she does a lot of. I'm just like wondering, like, how. Because I remember, like, you build up a tolerance so easily. Like, how does she. How much Adderall do you think she takes a day? And I remember back in the day, it's like when you came around, really. Maybe not. But she was, like, messaging someone, like, on Mark Terry's panel. She was like, oh, I'm just messaging someone to get some 5 hour energy, and I'm like, why the fuck would you be text messaging someone for a fucking energy drink from like the gas station? This is what she fucking calls Adderall slash crack. Yeah, that's my 5 hour energy. And apparently she asked this other YouTuber for like a pain pill. Because like she like fell or something at fat camp. And then she told like the person that gave her the pain pill, it was like some bullshit pain pill. It was like fucking codeine with Tylenol. But she told them like, don't tell Albert because he's scared like of me taking pills or like just in case it has fentanyl in it. So this is clearly a fear he has for a particular reason, right? You just don't. Your son just doesn't have this fear. It's not like you're just, oh, you opened a bottle of ibuprofen and your son is scared that there might be fentanyl in it. No, you're getting pills off the street. He does have me on the baby monitor. He does. He does, actually. I don't have him on the baby monitor, though, huh? Go ghost? What does that mean? Like, turn off my location? Nah, I don't really care. Just in case I might die. I don't know. You never know. JCB, don't be such a hater. You know me and Mr. Adorable. Oh, go ghost. You're talking to her. You're talking to... You mean go ghost hunt. I think that was all my ranting about Tina D. Oh, another thing I'll complain about Tina D. She always like is like, oh, don't talk about my son, don't talk about my son. Meanwhile, she literally puts him on YouTube. He literally was a content creator. He literally was a streamer. You know, it's like, well, fuck off. And then she'll literally talk about people. It's just ridiculous. She literally was like, don't talk about my son's fake girlfriend's miscarriage. She's not on YouTube. Meanwhile, she'll like be speculating about everyone else's fucking miscarriage and pregnancies, and it's like, fuck off. And also another thing is like she's like, my son has anxiety from this. I'm like, it's because when he was like 10 years old, you know, well, how far back do we go? Like, yeah, when he was like 10, 11 years old, you were fucking putting him on live streams and telling him about people. You were telling him like, look, this troll called you the N word. This troll called you a piece of fat shit. Like, well, then why are you telling your 11-year-old kid this? He doesn't need to know about this. Apparently, she would like worry up her racist daddy too. You love her, JCB. You're teasing her the same way you tease Tina. That's... And she's always talking about like, yeah, I gotta go to work. I gotta go. I mean, you literally sit in front of a camera and lick your lips a billion times. Talking about how like she has all this like fucking clout. She never used anyone's for clout or to like build up a YouTube. Your name was literally the neighbor and your grandpa's neighbor. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, you retard? You know what? This is gonna sound really retarded. Here, I'm not. You know, I'm not a genius. I'm not that much of a genius. I am a genius, but what I'm trying to say is like I can admit when I'm a retard, because guess what? I really don't think I knew before this trip that Slovenia was a country. Am I even saying that country right? I think I always assumed that like whenever someone said that country's name, that was just Slovakia or something. I don't really know. But that's a whole ass country. I did not know. I don't think I knew that. You know, touchy. Yeah, I made my doctor. Well, I made a doctor's appointment because I said I don't think the Survivance is working. Can I go back to Adderall or something? So, but they only sent me that prescription. I got to go to my appointment. I think it's. I don't know when it's in September. It's sometime in September. So that's where Donald Trump's wife. See, Slovenia. I thought she was from Slovakia. My God, wait, which one is she from? She's really from the one with the N. The only reason I know that is because like fucking ChatGPT said I needed to buy a pass to drive through that country. I'm like, I'm driving through that country. I didn't even know that was a country. I didn't even know you had to buy passes to drive through countries until this trip. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Wow, she is from that country. That's crazy. I thought she was from Slovakia. Actually, I do think I remember learning about that. Oh, wait, hold on. Yugoslavia. I've heard of that country. So it used to be a part of Yugoslavia or something. But when did that country exist? Like, not anytime recently, maybe. Maybe just recently. I Oh, really? My car. This car's too much in my business. This car just said tiredness detected. Last break taken 2 hours ago. Like what? That's a little bit too. That's too personal. Camera on me. How do they detect tiredness? Detect these nuts. 1991. It's not that old of a country, really. Where's Senegal? He said something. Did I not see it? I don't see what he said. But I got a salad from McDonald's earlier, so I hope you're proud of me. But it had potato salad on it. Like it has potatoes on the salad, which is weird. I did not expect that. If someone can guess what Italian city I'm going to, I'll send you $10 cash up right now. It's not like the most known, but it's also not known. Minnie trolling. He is trolling us. Maybe he's replying to something else he said earlier. No, Milan. No, that's where I'm flying out of though. That was a good guess. Milan was ghetto. Like, I mean, there was nice parts, obviously, but the parts I was driving through that one stream, Jesus. I mean, think about where I'm coming from. Think about where, if you know anything about them, if you look up a map. But nope. Remember, I'm coming from Poland, so it's kind of cool. I was talking to my mom. Is like, we should come to Poland and just travel like to random cities in Europe because you could really get a like 120 euro or dollar flight round trip flight from anywhere to anywhere. I mean, like Paris, Italy. Um, Even I think like I don't want to be a person, but I remember like the Miss Daughters like going to like Egypt, and I'm like, Jesus, it's like you can go anywhere from Europe. Spooky. I'll adopt you. Nope, not Rome. I wish I went to Rome. We should do a road trip one day in Italy because it sounds fun. Like there's so many little cities. They have instead of like 7-Elevens, they have something called Auto Grill, and I really am looking forward to that. I went to a shitty one, I think, but that's where I'm gonna get everyone's Parmesan from. Well, no one guessed it right, and you should just guess. Well, Venice, obviously. To Thailand for ladyboys. I would go to Thailand. Yeah, it's very cheap. I don't think the mess with them. I think I asked them this before. Aw, Minnie, that's adorable. Well,
You fucking stupid bitch.